तस्तो ह्यभद्राणि विधनोति सुहृत्सताम् नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Thank you all for joining. We are in the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya daily Bhagavatam study. We are in Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 23. Let me share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So please say after me. Bruhi Yogeshware Krishne Brahm. Okay, so I will do it because we have less time. I will continue. Bruhi Yogeshware Krishne Brahmanye Dharma Varmani Swam Kastham Adunopete Dharma Kam Sharanam Gataha. Again, Bruhi Yogeshware Krishne Brahmanye Dharma Varmani Swam Kastham Adunopete Dharma Kam Sharanam Gataha. Word to word translation. Bruhi, please tell. Yoga Ishware, the Lord of all mystic powers. Krishna, Lord Krishna. Brahmanye, the absolute truth. Dharma, religion. Varmani, protector. Swam, own. Kastam, abode. Aduna, nowadays. Upete, having gone away. Dharmaha, religion, come onto whom. Sharanam, shelter. Gataha, gone. Translation. Since Sri Krishna, the absolute truth, the master of all mystic powers, has departed for his own abode, please tell us to whom the religious principles have now gone for shelter. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Essentially, religion is the prescribed codes enunciated by the personality of Godhead himself. Whenever there is a gross misuse or neglect of the religion of the principles of religion, the Supreme Lord appears himself to restore religious principles. This is stated in Bhagavad Gita. Here, the sages of Naimisharanya are inquiring about these principles. The reply to this question is given later. The Srimad Bhagavatam is a transcendental sound representation of the personality of Godhead, and thus it is the full representation of the transcendental knowledge and religious principles. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the first canto, first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Questions by the Sages. So we'll say a few prayers before we discuss these transcendental topics. So I will be able to deliver here in accordance with the previous acharyas, and you will be able to also take what is being spoken. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Gopala Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Grim Yatkripada Mahamande Shri Gurum Dinatarana Paramananda Madham Sri Chaitanya Vishwaram Hari Om Tatsat. So what are the, so this chapter is about the first chapter where the sages who have assembled in the Naimisharanya are asking Suta Goswami 6 questions. So what are the questions that they asked so far? First question is, what is the ultimate good for all people? So we discussed, right? The Vaishnavas work for the welfare of everyone. So they are like Paradukka Dukhi. They know that the Kali Yuga is starting, and also they know that people will be suffering. So they asked questions like not for themselves. They did not ask Sota Goswami how to get liberation and all. They were asking What is the ultimate good for all people? Then they're also asking that there are so many religious principles. What is the essence? Because they know the people in Kali Yuga are Swalpa issue, means they cannot live for more than 100 years. And it takes more than 100 years to read all the religious scriptures, the Vedas, Upanishads, Upavedas, everything, and then understand the essence, what the religious principles are, what these scriptures are saying. But that's why they are asking directly the question, what is the essence of those religious scriptures? And then they did not even uh, give like wait until the when Sota Goswami was answering the questions. They themselves, being the learned sages, they said that they know that understanding the Supreme Lord is the essence of the scriptures, and that's why the remaining questions they were asking about the Lord Himself. Why did the Lord take birth from Devaki? Means they were asking, if the essence of the all the scriptures is to know about the Lord, why did the Lord first of all take birth from Devaki? What is the reasoning behind it? Why did he come to this material world? And what acts did he perform? Like they want to know all the different leelas that he performed, because listening to the leelas will inspire or attract the living entities to serve the Supreme Lord more and more. And they also want to know what are the different avatars that the Lord took. And finally, the last question they're asking is, where has Dharma gone now that Krishna has left the earth? And why did they specifically ask this question? Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata apyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. Means whenever and whenever there is a decline in religious principle, I descend myself millennium after millennium. And the immediate verse he says that Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha dushrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Means when he comes, he will fulfill three things. One is Paritranaya sadhanam. The first one is he will come to deliver his devotees who are constantly looking for his association. Next one is Vinasaya cha dushrutam, annihilate, vanquish the demons. And then by doing these two, automatically third thing happens. What is that? Dharma samsthapanarthaya means the dharma will get established. Sambhavami yuga yuga means every yuga he is going to establish, he is going to descend. So what is that dharma? That is what even that the sages were also asking. So where has dharma gone? But one thing they know is that when Krishna is there, dharma will be there, because Krishna himself told, as long as I am there, that the dharma is under my principle. And now that he is gone, oh, then there is, where did the dharma take residence or the shelter? Because does it mean that now dharma will be nobody will be there to establish the dharma? So then Prabhupada writes in his purport that uh, this question will be answered later, but essentially what he hinted in the purport is basically the Srimad Bhagavatam is the transcendental sound representation of the personality of God, and that is the full representation of the transcendental knowledge and religious principles. So what he is essentially saying is that what Sutta Goswami and Sukadeva Goswami they tell is that although Krishna went back to his abode, uh, the religious principle, after Krishna went back to his abode, the religious principle took shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And the Srimad Bhagavatam means, is it only the book that is Srimad Bhagavatam? No, Prabhupada explains that Srimad Bhagavatam means there are two representations of Srimad. One is the book Bhagavatam that was written by the incarnation of the Supreme Lord Himself, which is Vyasadeva, and also there is the book Bhagavatam, person Bhagavatam, means the devotees who have surrendered completely and who knows the religious principles in and out. It could, so that's why the pure devotees are also called Mahabhagavatas. Our spiritual masters, Srila Prabhupada and his spiritual master, they are all Mahabhagavatas because they have dedicated their life there to the Supreme Lord, and they are fully controlled, or their life is fully under the um, uh, protection of the Supreme Lord, and whatever their activities are nothing but the Supreme Lord's activities. So that's why that if we follow, if we read the Srimad Bhagavatam and if we follow the instructions of our spiritual master, then we are essentially following the dharma. And then Krishna, it is also mentioned in this verse that Krishna, when he departed to his own abode. So, Prabhupada, in one of the lectures, he says that Krishna went back his abode. It also negates the Mayavada philosophy that Krishna is an ordinary person. Because if Krishna is an ordinary person, what happens? That does it mean that he's in the material world and then he's finished after the body is done? No, he is transcendental. So every avatara of Krishna, they are coming from the transcendental realm. So as soon as this Leela is over, that when he came in the Dwapar Yuga, he went back to his abode. And what is his abode? It is called Goloka. Goloka Damni Nijadamni Talecha in Srimad in Brahma Samhita. Brahma says, what is that Goloka? Where is it located? Goloka Namni Nijadamni Talecha Tasya Devi Mahesha Haridama Suteshu Teshu Te Te Prabhava Nichaya Vihitashyayena Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami means that Goloka Dham is the topmost of all realms. So the lowest is the Devi Dham, which is the material world that we are all living in, and above that world is the Mahesh Dham, means the Kailash, and above the Kailash is the Haridham, means all the Vaikuntha lokas. And of all the Vaikuntha lokas, the topmost loka is the Goloka Dham. That's why when we say that Goloka, where what we are using the information, where we are bringing the information is from the Brahma Samhita written by Brahma himself. So where of all the Vaikuntha planets, the Goloka planet where Krishna resides is the topmost. And what are the characteristics of that Goloka Dham? Chintamani, he also explains in one of the prayers, Chintamani Prakara Sadmashu Kalpa Vriksha Laksha Vateshu Surabhira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrahma Sevya Manam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami means in that Chintamani stones, the touchstones that provide everything. Everything is the touchstones are there. Like if we want something, it automatically happens. And there, thousands and thousands of Lakshmis are serving that Supreme Lord in unalloyed devotional service. And um, and there are numberless milk cows always emitting transcendental oceans of milk. So we have to see that. So that is the topmost dham, and basically, essentially, what we want in whatever mood we want to serve Krishna, we'll be able to serve immediately. So that is the thing. So Krishna is a person. He is not something impersonal where once the avatar is over, he becomes impersonal. No. Like after this Leela is over, he goes back to his Golokadam, and that where so it is mentioned that in the Goloka, every step is a dance, every word is a song, every day is a festival. So if we go back there, we will be able to constantly engage in Krishna and derive transcendental pleasure every moment. So the leelas that are happening in the material world at their particular times constantly happen, always, 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 and they keep on happening in the Goloka. And that's the place we want to also try to go. But in that process, we have to understand that we are stuck in this material world, and we have to get out. And how we can get out is by following the Vedic dharmic principles. And in the being in the material world, what is dharma? Basically, we know that there is a Varnashram Dharma. We discussed a few weeks back, there is Swadharma, Sanatan Dharma, and there is also the Bhagavata Dharma. So what we are trying to follow is the Bhagavad Dharma, but what people don't know anything about religious principles, they follow is the Swadharma. Actually, they are not even following Swadharma, but essentially Swadharma is like what is your the Chaturvarne Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagacha means based on your guna and based on your karma, means based on your nature. Somebody might have a very stout body, they are strong. Somebody might have very good intellect. Somebody might have a very good caring for others. So all these things based on that nature and based on the activity that you are doing, you fall into one of the category. And that chaturvarnya means the four varnas. What basically happened is that varnas got confused with caste. um, and when Britishers were came and then they occupied the India, and then when they left, they basically made those caste lines as hard lines, means that will be happening based on birth. But Krishna never said the Chaturvarnyam is based on birth. It's based on the work that you do and based on the quality that you have. So even when we take, we basically, it's not like something that is alien to the any society, right? For a proper functioning of the society, you have doctors, you have engineers, you have teachers, you have policemen, you have soldiers, and all. Um, and if you don't have these designations, people, if a policeman, if somebody got an accident and they go to the police station and the police person starts doing surgery, what will happen? The person will immediately die. So you need to have these people. So these varnas are based on their quality and the quality they're based on the quality of the work that they do and the work that they do itself. So basically we know a doctor's son automatically doesn't become a doctor. Similarly, an engineer's son automatically doesn't become an engineer. But there is high chance that a doctor's son can become a doctor if the person is interested, because they have more visibility or opportunity to do the same things that their parents were doing. And then similarly, a Brahmana's son has an opportunity to become a Brahmana, but they don't automatically become a Brahmana, especially in the um, Kali Yuga, everyone by birth means um, Kalau Sudra Sambhavaha means everyone by birth is a Shudra, because in order for this religious principle to be maintained, there are some rituals that need to be performed. But even the learned people, Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, they don't follow these principles. So everybody by birth becomes a Shudra. So they have to again qualify themselves to become Brahmana or Kshatriya or Vaishya. So why I'm telling this is that there is a lot of confusion within this society that, we are telling about dharma, but in your dharma there is this Swatarma or Sanatan Dharma, there is this four varnas that are created. Why like that? But the four varnas are nothing but the designations that we have in the current society. Those should not be confused with the caste. The caste is an alien concept. Varna is the actual concept, and Varna is if you have the ability to work, if you have the strength, and if you have the muscular body and all, and you want to serve the nation, you can become a soldier. Nobody is stopping you. Similarly, if you have the ability to work very hard, learn all the different medical techniques and all, spend like 30 or 40 years just studying and want to become a doctor, you can become. At that time also, if someone wanted to tend the cows, they could become a Vaishya. If someone wanted to do a business or like that, and someone wanted to protect, they can also become a Kshatriya. But it's not that somebody who is born automatically becomes a Kshatriya. They have to also prove, and they have some additional flexibility, but that doesn't mean they automatically become. But the caste system makes them automatically become, and that is causing all these things in the conflict and things in the society. So going back, that is the Swadharma. And what is Sanatan Dharma? Sanatan Dharma is nothing but different names it has. It is Yagna or Yoga or whatever you call it. It means that establishing the connection with the Supreme Lord. Yoga means connection or connecting to this. When we say connect, we can't connect one thing with empty space, right? There has to be two people. So that's why when we say yoga, it's a relationship between us and the Supreme Lord. It's not like I sit and meditate and then on nothing. Of course, it is called Ashtanga yoga process, but that is very troublesome. Krishna says that you cannot focus on nothing. Your mind, Arjuna says, after Krishna explains this yoga process, Ashtanga yoga, Arjuna says, "Oh Krishna, Chanchalam hi manah Krishna," means my mind is very fickle-minded. Like I have the ability to control the wind, but I cannot control my mind. It goes here and there. So that's why Krishna introduces or explains the next six chapters of Bhakti of Bhagavad Gita, which is the middle six chapters, or about Bhakti Yoga, where if you focus on your devotional service to the Supreme Lord, it becomes very easy. There are nine processes of devotional service, which is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. Means we can just hear about the Supreme Lord. All what you are doing every day, like coming to this program and listening, we are doing devotional service. And Kirtanam, like one of us getting an opportunity to speak, we are glorifying the Supreme Lord. It is devotional service. And during this process, we are discussing some pastimes of Krishna. That is devotional service. So, and if we go to a temple path, all these are devotional services. And uh, and above all, like completely surrendering to the Supreme Lord is the Bhagavata Dharma, means that is what we are essentially looking for. And essentially, the uh, answer to this question is after Krishna goes back to his abode, the Dharma has taken shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam has both the book written by Vyasadev and also the spiritual masters, our own spiritual master and the previous acharyas who are the Mahabhagavatas. And I just want to inspire you all by just looking at yeah. So one thing some people also will say that is, oh, you're saying Krishna is establishing the dharma, but he himself has broken the dharma many times, and they will give so many examples like he asked Bhima to hit Duryodhana on his thighs when it is not like allowed in a battle of maces and all. And similarly, he uh, asked Arjuna to kill Karna when he's not on his chariot. So many things he says, but the thing we have to understand is an analogy that I heard in one of the classes that makes very good sense. Like if you have the highway that everybody is driving, right? The speed limit says 70 or 60 miles per hour, and everybody is following the rules, following the dharma. But there are one or two people who exceed that and they break that rule and they go very very fast. So when a cop sees that, and will the cop honk his horn and say, hey sir, stop, don't go slow, or don't go fast, go slow? Or will he just radio in and say, or say that if you go fast I will arrest you? No, he has to do it to stop right away, because he's already causing panic to all the people who are following the rules. And then if he let them continue, then it will create more impact. So what the cop has to do, cop has to, if the person is going at 100, cop has to go at 105, at 110 miles per hour to overtake him and stop it. So if you take only that particular instance where two cars are going, where cop car is going faster, it might appear that cop car is also breaking the rule. But you have to look at the whole context where the person already broke the rule. So whether it is Karna who fought on the wrong side and he told the cover was to kill Abhimanyu from behind, break his bow, or whether it is Duryodhana that he did not keep his word, and he Krishna tried multiple times to stop the battle, but he said he's not ready to give even a pinch of land to Pandavas. So all this, so Krishna tried that to make them follow the rules and regulations and all. They did not. So, but with people who don't have any knowledge, you can see only a small context where Krishna did this, and then they will. But you have to, when you look at the whole context, Dharmantu Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam means we don't have enough time, but I would say that read the chapter in Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter. So it is the okay. So it is the Ajamila story. I will tell you the chapter name that is in Srimad Bhagavatam. But if you just read the whole translations, you will get so much inspired, because even the Yamadutas who go and when they try to bring the simple Ajamila, all Ajamila did was, I think this was already mentioned by Nandakumar Prabhu in one of the lectures, but this is a very inspiring story. When the Yamadutas try to fetch the Ajamila because of his sinful activities, when he says Narayana, the Vishnudutas come and he says, don't worry. And the Yamadutas who are scared from that place and they go running to his master, Yamadharmaraj. You see the word itself, Yamad, he said Dharmaraj, means he is the master of the Dharma. Then the Yamadutas ask, oh Supreme, oh Yamadharma, we thought you are the master of the Dharma. Your Dharma, your word itself has failed. How is it possible? And Sukadeva Goswami says, never had that happened. And the Yamaraj, he explains, Yamadharmaraj, he says that, oh, devotees or Yamadutas, one thing you don't know is there is one person higher than everyone, who is the Supreme Lord. every one of us, even the learned sages, they don't know what is the real dharma. Only he himself will know the dharma, and everything he decides is the actual dharma. And that's why we are saying that anything that Krishna says is the real dharma. That is the Bhagavad Dharma we want to follow. And for this Kali Yuga, the dharma is chanting of the holy name, and that's actually what Yamaraj also says to the Yamadutas. He says that if somebody is chanting the holy name, don't even go near them. They are protected by the holy name, like a mace in the Vishnu's hand that protects them. Uh, Krishna or the Vishnu Dutas will immediately come and protect. Time cannot affect them. My laws cannot affect them. Envious people cannot affect them. And he goes on to say, nothing can affect them because they are already under the shelter of the Supreme Lord. But instead, go and drag them to me, the people who don't even use their mouth to chant the holy name of Krishna even once. They don't even use the body to offer obeisances to the Supreme Lord. They don't even use their ears to hear about the Supreme Lord. So essentially, if we don't use this body like for the service of the Supreme Lord, even a little bit, then Yamadutas are ready for us to drag us. But the moment we chant the holy name even once, and we are under the shelter of the Supreme Lord. And imagine if we are chanting the holy name of the Lord constantly, 16 rounds because of the instruction of our spiritual master, 16 rounds a day, listening to these Bhagavatam lectures, following all these regulative principles, which are basically the four legs of Dharma. Then what else is needed? Krishna, we are under the protection of the Supreme Lord. When somebody recently Father's Day happened, right? We know if we when we know that our Father is protecting us, how careless or not careless, but how carefree the child would be, where he knows that he will not be in danger because his Father is always protecting. Similarly, if we are following these four regulative principles, following the 16 rounds, what we have to be afraid of? Nothing. It's because we are under the protection. So we have to use this opportunity to always chant the holy name and listen to the Srimad Bhagavatam lectures and constantly keep hearing. And please read that chapter and get inspired. And Yamadharmaraj also gives the list of the 12 Mahajans, means the people who also can help establish, and he is one of them. So all these things, what we ISKCON is preaching and all is taken from Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahma Samhita, Bhagavad Gita, everything. There is nothing we say outside of the scriptures. So please take advantage of this and do more and more devotional service. Any questions before we close?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Wonderful.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna. Prabhuji.
yes. Prabhuji, I have a question regarding when Dwapara Yuga ended and all Yaduvamsa got destroyed and the Jarasava stood to Lord Krishna's feet, thinking like it's a deer. So, as you mentioned, Lord Krishna went back to Golok Vrindavan. So definitely he was present there. So I mean, he maybe his expansion came here. I mean, appeared in Mother Devaki's womb. So if you can, I mean, give little bit more insight here, like after Charasavar suited Lord Krishna's feet, what happened the next? Like he went with his same body to Golok Vrindavan, or what happened? Because there are so many confusion in outside. So since we, I
Yes,
mean,
Prabhuji. So that's a great question. And Krishna says that he reserves the right to reveal himself to his pure devotees. So even if Krishna, for example, that episode was not there, even if Krishna automatically immediately disappeared from there, there will be some reason, some argument that the people will say that, oh, Krishna was kidnapped or he disappeared. Nobody knows. Why would God disappear like that? So it is a leela. Basically, when um Jara strike the arrow, then Krishna left with his own body, like because it is with his own body. He says, "Sambhavami aham atma maya," means with my own maya, my own there are two types of Maya, right? One is the mundane material world, the Yoga Maya, and one is the Mahamaya. So people who are under the control of Mahamaya will see things in one way. People who come under the shelter of the Yoga Maya will know the actual things. Why he is because even at the birth, when Krishna takes birth, uh, people will should not even ask the question when we first read the birth of the Krishna. When Devaki was, if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that Devaki thinks that her womb is growing, but actually it is Krishna already manifested in there. So it is just like thinking that baby is inside, but as soon as the time comes, Krishna reveals himself with the 400 Narayana form, and Devaki and Vasudeva, they immediately ask, "Oh, Krishna, please become like a normal baby," and then based on their request he comes becomes a normal baby, and they basically he wants to make his devotees serve him. So in that way, and that's why says janma karma cha me divyam o yevam yeveti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti suajna, means people who know about the transcendental nature of my appearance and my disappearance and my body and all, they will not take birth in this material world again. So that is the one that he leaves as a choice. If we can interpret however we want, or we can take the way, if we come and start practicing, that things will reveal that after the jara was done, it is just a thing that Krishna gives an opportunity for the material world people to think that he's an ordinary person. But in reality, after that, he disappears with his own body, and he goes back to Goloka. Does that answer your question, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So definitely with Yogamaya, he left one such similar body where Charas suited, but reality is he went back to.
Yes, because the people will
Okay.
create so many theories. Some people will say that there was they took the heart from there and all, but those are all like there is no scriptural references for those.
Understood, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Any other questions?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Thank you very much for a wonderful class by Pawan Prabhu. Let's chant 3 times Hari Bol for giving a wonderful class. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Let's pray Lord Narasimha to give his protection for all our congregation devotees and as well as whole entire world by chanting Ugram Viram for 3 times. Ugram Viram Mahavishram Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Bhishanam Badram Muchur Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jalantam Sarvatomukham Narasimham Bhishanam Badram Muchur Namamyaham Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jalantam Sarvatomukham Narasimham Bhishanam Badram Muchur Namamyaham. Let's offer all our propitious to all assembled Vaishnavas who gave a wonderful association to discuss about the Srimad Bhagavatam. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. We wish you a very very happy Krishna conscious day ahead. Today is Dwadasi and Parana time is between 5:21 to 10:32. So you can fast your break now and continue your regular meal now onwards. Thank you very much. We'll meet you tomorrow morning, Srimad Bhagavatam class. Tomorrow morning, Srimad Bhagavatam class will begin by His Holiness Bhakti Vasudeva Swami Maharaj. I request everybody to join without miss that class. Thank you very much. Let's chant enthusiastically 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra and close the class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. भगवान श्री कृष्ण परमात्मा की जय। अमल पुराणम श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा।